It's Emily Cutchin's Atlas, the buttery babe, coming to you from my kitchen. Totally in the mood for cozy right now, and nothing says cozy like grilled cheese. Also, fall. So, we have fun things to put in our grilled cheese. You could put, this one we're going to do either a pumpkin butter, your choice, or apple butter. And then we're going to put in some Gouda, shredded Gouda. If you have Gruyere, cheddar, whatever you like. We're also going to put in a little bit of sage, and we're going to give them a crusty crunch. It's going to be good. It's a little bit messy, so we're going to work on a sheet pan so it's all contained. We're making 2 sandwiches, so you're going to need 4 slices of bread. We're today using like a hearty, multi-grain, wheaty thing. You could use sourdough. You could use a farm-style white. You don't want to use like a regular white bread, though it'll fall apart. And we have, for the 2 sandwiches, 4 ounces of cheese and approximately 4 tablespoons of butter. You might need a little more, you might need a little less. So, I like flavor in my grilled cheese, but I don't like chunkies. Like, if you put meat in there, it's not a grilled cheese, it's a panini. Paninis are delicious, don't get me wrong. They're not a grilled cheese. So I don't want like pieces of apple or bacon or hunks of mushroom. No, grilled cheese. So, the first thing we're going to do, our butter is room temperature. We're going to assemble our sandwiches and we're going to cook them in a little bit because it's easier to get it all together and then cook. We might not use all the butter. I'm making no promises. So we're going to butter our bread. And even though this has been sitting out for hours, our house is kind of cold. So it never really softens, but you get the point. So butter the bread. You're going to butter all 4 of your slices just on one side. I have been known to butter the inside and the outside, but trying to show a teeny tiny morsel of self-control. It's hard. It's hard and I don't enjoy it. I know this isn't the most exciting thing to watch, but believe me, you're going to enjoy it. So, butter. Some people call it, when you put some Parmesan on the outside, a crown or inside out grilled cheese. I just call it extra delicious. Because what can be bad about cheese on top of cheese? Okay, so we've got it done. Now, we're going to sprinkle it with Parmesan. When we cook it, it's going to get extra crispy over there. Yay! Sprinkle, sprinkle. Not a ton, just enough. And then just gently pat it down, and then you're going to flip it over. Some of it's going to fall off, don't worry. We'll scoop it back up. Now is the fun part. So, I'm going to make one of these with apple butter. Put about a tablespoon on each slice that's going to be the apple butter one. You just spread that out, crust to crust. If you want it extra appley, go ahead, put a little more on. You don't want to put so much on that the sandwich is wet. So probably for 2 sandwiches, you need less than a quarter of a cup. So that's the first sandwich with the apple butter. And then we're going to put on the cheese. And again, make sure that this is nice and even so we get an equal distribution of gooey goodness. Pat that down. And then take its brother and flip it on the top. I'm going to scoop that guy over. And now we're going to do the same thing, except this one we're going to do pumpkin butter. Camera girl, do you like sage? The herb?
No.
Okay, so we are not going to put any sage in. If you wanted to put a little bit of chopped sage or some rosemary or some thyme in either of these sandwiches, it'd be delicious. Camera girl veto. And best to listen to camera girl.
Pumpkin.
She's very upset that we haven't made pumpkin pie. And now we're going to put on the rest of the cheese. Now, as I said, this one is Gouda. But if you have Gruyere, cheddar, Havarti, anything that is a nice melting cheese. I wouldn't do American cheese on this, even though I'm a huge fan of American cheese on a grilled cheese, just because the flavors don't jive that good with the pumpkin and the apple butter.
God bless America.
Yes, to the grilled cheese and in general. So these are gonna chill out right here for a few minutes. They're gonna chill for a few minutes, and then they don't have to, just because I'm not real organized today. And then we're gonna saute them in butter over medium. We'll be back in a second. Hey, it's Emily Hutchins Adley, the Buttery Babe, coming to you from the land of gourmet grilled cheese. We're gonna cook up our apple butter and pumpkin butter grilled cheese sandwiches. So I've got a pan heating up on medium. I've got my pre-assembled grilled cheese sandwiches, a little bit of butter. I also have a fish spatula, not that there's fish in there, but for easy flipping, and a lid, which helps ensure even cooking. If you don't have a lid that fits your fry pan, go ahead and just use a baking sheet. So we've got the pan heated up on medium. Just gonna put a little butter in there. Remember, we started the day with 4 tablespoons, so we're gonna make sure we use every single calorie, because you've met me. Why waste? And now, we're gonna put our sandwiches in. So my spread has a rounded top. We're gonna make sure that the rounded sides go towards the rounded part of the pan. You can see how we had a few Parmesanis fall off? Not to worry, I'm just gonna go back on. So that's on medium. And now we're just gonna cover it. That one's too big, too small on me, so we're gonna use our sheet pan. We're gonna cover this, and it's gonna cook in there and get delicious. About 4 minutes, and then we're gonna flip them. See you in 4. Hey, it's been 4 minutes. Let's check on our grilled cheese. Oh, looking good. So these are gonna get flipped. First, we're gonna put in the rest of that butter so it can start its life plans. Oh, I love her. It can start its life plans of being melty and delicious. So this part, we're gonna slide our spatula under there. It's a little bit harder to flip these ones because of that Parmesan crust, but it's gonna be worth it. Okay. Do I have it all? Yes, I do. And now we're gonna maneuver our pan, shake that butter around, and wait for it, flip. See how it got toasty and golden and delicious? So now we're gonna do the same thing. See, now that you can tell it's filmed in real time, because otherwise there'd be no struggle. Flip. And push down and just a tiny touch. And then, because I'm impatient, see if you look inside how it's starting to melt. Oops. Starting to melt, but not fully there, which is fine. So we're gonna cover it up, and we're gonna let it go for another 3 minutes, and then we shall reveal the goodness. See you soon. Time for the grilled cheese reveal. Come on. We're gonna take these lovely ladies out of the pan. Remember, it's got that grilled Parmesan crust, so it's a little bit tougher. If you were nice to your dish person, aka husband, boyfriend, SO, yourself, you would use a nonstick pan, but I don't have one. So it'll soak and it'll be fine. Ooh, let's let that cool off for a second. So, don't these look delish? Ooh, they're flaming, flaming hot. I'm so excited. Let's see if you can hear the crunch. So good. So with this one is pumpkin butter, and this one has apple butter. We're gonna cut it in a little slanty, because that's how grilled cheese should go. Ooh, that looks good, right? One bite. I I never want a pumpkin spice latte because coffee sure tastes like coffee, this is the treat of fall. This is Emily Clutchins Adler coming to you from my kitchen with comfy, cozy apple butter and pumpkin butter grilled cheese. Please follow me on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, and of course my website, www.butterybabe.com.